Hello, everybody. Welcome to another live. I'm so excited for this live today. We are talking about galactics. So we're doing a galactic round table, and I have some amazing guests with me. So if you guys have any questions about ETs, galactic topics of any sort, please post them in the chat, and I will star them, and we will talk about them, discuss them, try and answer them. So I'll do my quick little what's coming up real quick. So the next show is on the 25th of May. I have Jennifer Lawrence coming, who is a hypnotherapist. So that'll be a really exciting topic to discuss. Otherwise, you guys need to subscribe so you don't miss what other shows are coming up, because I have some other great guests coming up this summer. So yeah, with that, I'm going to get these lovely ladies to introduce themselves in case you don't know who they are. And then we decided, I think, that we were going to talk about our life as on the Pleiades or in the Pleiades or as Pleiadians, since you all have that in common.
Yeah.
So yeah, Diane, do you want to go first?
Yeah. Hello, everyone. I'm Diane G. I'm an Akashic Records Reader and an emotional energy healer. And from the Pleiades, my home star system is in Maya.
Nice.
Tanys?
Mm-hmm. It's nice because I was born in Maya, but lived in Alcyon. So, yeah. Anyway, I'm Tanys Coughlin.
So much of this tonight.
Love it.
So I'm founder of the Total Lifestyle Community, Total Lifestyle Academy. I am a galactic ambassador as well with the Alliance for Extraterrestrial Diplomatic Contact and also with the Federation. So yes, that's me. I do galactic-y stuff. I also do energy healing and all of that stuff too. So
Cool stuff.
And Jen?
Okay, so I am Jennifer Jurkofsky. I am a registered psychotherapist, certified Canadian counselor, intuitive life coach. I am an author, and I think that's what we're going to talk a little bit about, is one of those books. And also galactic ambassador on the galactic, on the Elders Council for the Federation. And as Tanys and I often say, we do stuff, and there's so much stuff that we do.
yeah, too much to get into all of it here. So
Your information is linked down below if you want to find out more.
Yay. But yeah, I lived with Tanys on Alcyon, so at least for the latter part of, most of my life.
It's very interesting for me to be with you three, because I know you've had shared lifetimes. I read for Kaylee a while ago, and I saw you there. So that was very cool. So I know you had past lifetimes together. I'm from a separate group, so yeah, it's going to be interesting.
awesome.
Yeah, that's super cool. But it would be neat to see, if you were, for that time period and all of that, how your history fits in as well.
Yeah.
So we have Barbara, who's popped on and says, hello, everyone.
Hi, Barbara.
Hi, Barbara.
Hello.
So before we popped on, I actually had people share, AI photos that we've all kind of in our own free time generated. And it was really funny because I was sharing some of them backstage right before we popped on, and the similarities were mind-blowing. I'm actually getting chills because of we talk about synchronicities, and the synchronicities are so strong. So I think I'll share Diane's first, and then we can maybe share some of the ones that Tanys had there as well. You guys can, as I put the photos up, if you wanted to kind of describe the context of them, if you like. You can kind of use them as a jumping off point. So this is the one that Diane shared.
So yeah, this is a generated photo or AI illustration of Taygeta. But what's weird about this is that it's also similar to the other star systems. When we talk about Pleiades, people think it's just an entire group and every culture is the same. But it's not actually the same. Each star system has a different culture, but there are some similarities. For this one, Taygeta, it's very similar to the structures in Alcyone and Merope. I think there are similarities in the structure. So usually I see white walls with blue and gold accents. So yeah, I think that's a similarity between those three.
And I think the shape of the buildings also, at least
Yes.
from what I've seen.
Like there's a
Alcyone.
spire and then the building is up top.
Yeah, and it's like disc shaped, right?
Yeah.
So very similar to that too. Yeah.
Well, I will pop up actually the pictures that Tanys shared so you guys can see the similarities that they're talking about.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So this is one of them here, and I'll share the other as well.
These are like Alcyone, and those glow in the dark flowers, or the luminescent flowers. I think you'll see some of those in Jen's as well.
Mm-hmm.
Those were common on Alcyone.
So yeah, I will share Jen's here. Gonna have to bear with me as I figure out the technology here. Go ahead, Jen.
Well, I think, are you talking about the one I sent you in Messenger?
Me? The one
No.
you sent me?
Kaylee.
Yeah.
Because you're talking about places, right? So I had sent you one in
found it. Yep, 1 second.
Avalon, which is in the Lyra system. And what's fascinating about this is, so I was actually, before the show, we were chatting, and I was saying how when this very first came through, it was many years ago, and the first memory I had shared about, but then after that I didn't share anymore about them. And so I was driving one day with Reagan, who's my eldest, and we were talking, and Ray said, we were talking about a couple of things, and there was two different things that came up. One of them was Ray saw a planet and was like, I have to draw it, and then started to draw this planet. And I said, oh, that actually looks like that would have been Avalon. And Ray said, yeah, but it's something else. And I said, okay, well, we'll have to look into that. But then there was this, and then Ray was like, wait a minute, I have something else that's coming through. And Ray actually drew this spire with the crystal and a bridge and all of the water and everything. And I'm driving, right? So Ray just kind of like leans over and shows me, and I'm like, I have to pull over. Like, I'm going to cry right now. Because Ray was actually seeing a section of Avalon where the temple was.
Yeah.
And I was just, I could not believe it in that moment. And it was very much like that crystal image in the center, but with the water coming through and bridges and things. So the picture didn't get quite right in terms of the way that the AI did it. And the picture that Ray drew, I was trying to find it. It was years ago on my phone. It was not a quick find, but it was a very, very close up of just the crystal and the water.
So the other thing that's really drawing me with that is the building that's on the right-hand side, the lower one, not the taller one. The lower one that's got like the red and blue kind of roof.
Mm-hmm.
I've been there.
I don't have any past life memories of Avalon, but when I read the Akashic Records for others, this is very, very similar to what I see.
Mm-hmm.
So I had goosebumps when you showed it.
I love those confirmations. I really do.
So speaking of confirmations, so as most of you know, so Tanys, Jen, and I have shared a past life. It actually is the one in the book that Jen wrote. And so where I kind of sit in that timeline is after the events of the book. So Jen sent me a picture or an image from that lifetime of us together. And I actually sent it to Diane when we were planning the show. And she said, that is more or less what I saw when I read your Akashic Records. So I'm going to share the image here. So give me a second. There we go. So so we have Jen on the right, Tanys on the left in that lifetime, and myself in the middle. So I was much younger. I'm not 100% sure, but I've kind of said either the age of their children or grandchildren is what it felt like to me. So, years after the events of, the war and all of that. But yeah, so this is the greenhouse that Jen mentions in her book. Because that is the one memory that is very, very strong for me that came forward. So I read the book. I helped Jen as well in some of the editing of the book. So I knew
Hey, hold
of
on.
the event.
I got to stop you right there for a minute. Kaylee was just unbelievably amazing in helping me with the edits for the book. And I just want to give her that credit. Not just I helped Jen a little. Kaylee, I think, must have read the book like 4 or 5 times.
At least 3,
during
yeah.
that.
3.
Okay, 3. But still, it felt like a lot.
But it was interesting reading it because I was like, because when you had me read through it, you said, see if you identify with any of the characters. And I didn't. But I knew of the ones that you had already kind of connected in this lifetime with the ones that were in the book. And I'm like, yes, that energy, when I read it, makes sense. All of that makes sense. Any ones I've met since makes sense. Mm-hmm. But it was only, I want to say, almost like a month after kind of the final edit. Jen and I were actually talking, and it actually ended up being that she channeled through her character or her person, I guess. Don't want to say personality, but her.
It's part of her.
Part of me.
Yeah, in that book. And I immediately had this memory come up of being in the greenhouse and both Tanys and Jen being there and teaching me. So I knew that at that point that they were at least my teachers in that lifetime. So yeah, it's been really interesting. And then thankfully with Diane's help, I've had some other memories come forward of my later years once I was an adult, because I have no real memory of any of that. But
that was very interesting. I recall that reading very vividly. First, I saw you as a child being presented to Tanys, who was like a high priestess of some sort. And then the later part of that lifetime, you were actually wearing similar clothes, which means you kind of inherited that role. Mm-hmm. I'm like, oh, that's so cool.
Very cool.
Barbara says, I want to crawl into that picture. Isn't it so just like lovely and comforting and just like, yeah.
It totally was there.
Yeah.
I have many memories of that greenhouse. Yeah. My mother we used to travel all over the galaxy getting plants. She was a healer, a herbal healer. And so we used to go all over the galaxy and bring back plants that were indigenous to the different planets and stuff. And when we actually got one that germinated and grew in the greenhouse, we would dance around. This is when I was little, like probably that age. We would dance around and celebrate with the plants that this one had made such a great recovery. So it was quite a joyous place for me in there. Mm-hmm. There was a couple of not so good memories in there too. I almost died in that greenhouse at one point, and then Jen saved me by getting some water from the healing cave underneath. But yeah,
I didn't write about that one in the book. That's got to be in Tanys's.
That'll be in the Pleiadian one, yeah, because I'm working on the Pleiadian version.
Hi, Leah. Thank you for being
here. Hi,
Leah. I also want to actually mentioning the healing pools. I just went and looked for the pictures that I drew and sent you guys. So I'm just gonna pull those up super quick here. Give me a second. So this is actually, it's not, I don't know how easy it is kind of to see it. But this is one I kind of drew from a first person perspective, I guess. So there is healing pools under the greenhouse. And so anytime I've gone down there, So this is all kind of pink because to me, like it all looks like either like rose quartz or like something very, very similar. And these pools are all like warm, so like hot spring-esque, I guess. So that's what I could describe
Definitely.
them. So this is just a quick little like drawing I did the other day. Just because I couldn't get it out of my head, and I'm like, I need to draw this, which is what normally happens. Probably like Reagan there when you were driving, you're like, I need to draw this, or it's going to drive me crazy. And then this is another one that I'll just mention briefly, because I think Jen, in your book, you kind of mentioned a very similar ceremony, which I thought was really, really interesting. So this is actually a more recent memory, kind of within the last couple of weeks, actually, that came forward. So I discovered in that lifetime that I was as a child, I lost my mother. And so this was her basically, I'll call it a oneness ceremony. So, you know, her funeral, more or less, where she basically, her soul kind of incorporated back into the oneness. And so this fire that was in the middle, all I saw was kind of almost... the best way I can describe it is like magic, but like kind of northern lights, you know, kind of swirling colors and like glitter kind of going up and into the open sky or the open galaxies up here. So again, that was when I had to draw it, or I was going to go crazy.
Absolutely. In the book, it's in the starfire, right? And it's when, you know, we send, you know, spirits back to the stars, right? So it's that releasing of them and honoring their life and sending them back to be one with the stars. And it was actually during that time that the Star Mothers came in the book, and they shared with us. So it was during that ceremony that you have drawn there.
So Leah had a couple of comments, so and Barbara as well. So I'm just going to pop those up if that's okay. So she says, I learned I was Lyran and sang to my plants, grew for healers, and then had to flee. And then Barbara said, Diane told me I am a plant ambassador with the Federation.
Oh, very nice.
Very cool.
And Leah said, I literally got excited and vibrated like a bee when I see flowers. It overtakes me.
That's awesome.
That's a confirmation.
Yeah.
Well, and I wonder if Barbara, you know, is continuing to maybe do some of the work that your mom was doing, Tanys.
That actually that came to mind.
Yeah.
Oh, and there's a Gerald.
Hey, Gerald.
Hi, Gerald.
Yeah, but to the baths or the pools under the thing. So in the story, at one point we're reminiscing. It's near the end, and Tanys and I are reminiscing about it. And I tell the story of me getting lost down there while we were at school. I wandered off and, you know, did my own thing because I was a little curious, and ended up getting lost. But I found the pools, and I was like, oh, this is so great. But I'm like, I don't know how to get back. And actually the crystals in the walls helped me find my way back. So they lit up and talked to me, and all the way through I could see like which direction I was supposed to go based on where they lit up. And they helped me get out. So
You were supposed to find those pools.
Yeah.
You were guided.
They're beautiful pools.
They are. They feel so amazing.
Yes.
Can we go back there now?
I know.
I am. Part of me is.
We're remembering this. It's like, can we go back there?
Part of
That
me is
happens
there
a
already.
lot. I don't know about the rest of you, but there just feels so much lighter, and like there isn't like the 3D Earth stress.
Yeah, the heaven is here.
Well,
It's just different there.
yeah. I mean, at that point in time when we were, you know, when we were younger in the book, like when we were kids and all of that kind of stuff happened, there was tension, but the war wasn't full blown yet. There was, you know, different things that were happening, but we weren't as impacted or caught up in it yet.
We weren't having full exposure to it at that point, right?
No,
Our
and
parents were protecting.
absolutely. And then the picture of the greenhouse with Kaylee there with us, we were older and it was after.
Yes. Yeah.
Right. And so, yeah, but there was an in-between time where it was quite heavy.
Yes. Yes, indeed.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and that's been interesting too, because you've shared other images of some of the other characters and are like, hey, what do you think? And it's like, I recognize them, but I don't, because when I knew them, they were, as I go, retired, so to speak. So their energy is much different. They weren't, right in the middle of, battle weary kind of energy. It's that, they're relaxed. They were, mentors and teachers and friends. So I'm like, yes, I recognize them, but at the same time, I don't. Because anyway, it's just been really
like
interesting.
different versions.
Of it too.
Yeah.
So I do have Jen's website up as well, and I did link it down in the description for those that want to go. If you haven't already read her book, go. There's her website where you can go and get the book. But I will pull them up because she has an amazing slideshow of a bunch of images. So I will put that on stage here, so you will all recognize that picture, of course. But Jen, I don't know if you want to, as we kind of scan through here, or as it goes through, if you want to.
Sure. Well, I mean, the first picture in this one, so that's me in that lifetime with Ryan. So
the next one with Ryan,
yeah,
that one.
Yep. I don't know how much you want me to share about all of them.
Well, they should read the book, so
yeah,
they should. They should read the book. Yes.
Yeah.
So that's Ryan. Yeah.
And that's Tanys and I. So when I land in Alcyon.
Yeah. To let me know that both our parents have perished.
Which is sad.
Yes.
There's a group of you there.
So Kaylin.
That's Kaylin.
And then Tanys and myself and Ryan again.
Another picture.
There's Kaylin.
Kaylin on the ship.
I like that.
Tanys and I.
I love this one. This is one of my favorites.
Yeah, I like that one too. And this one.
Yeah. And there's you two in the greenhouse. I love this one too.
So there's a ceremony I talk about, and I was finally able to get this picture to be made with like the energy field that was around us, but it sort of did what I wanted it to, and sort of not. And that's the four of us again.
We were very close, all of us. We were. Yeah.
And now, of course, my computer has frozen on that page.
That's okay. It likes the four of us together. That's fine.
So it just stayed there. Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Leah.
Oh no, sending you tons of love.
Yes, exactly. Yes, yeah. Barbara said the same thing. Sending love and light. Yeah. Yes.
So sorry.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. It is.
So, is there any other memories that come up as far as the Pleiades, or anything you guys want to talk about in that regard? Again, if those in chat, there's 7 of you. I see you watching. If you have any questions about Galactics or ETs or the Pleiades.
I actually, like for Leah and for anybody who's had somebody pass, I'm just going to read what the Star Sisters said to us.
Please, yes.
In that ceremony where we honored our loved ones and held space for them to cross. So the Pleiadian Star Sisters, or Star Mothers as they are now. Eternal sisters of the 7 lights, guardians of the cosmos and keepers of the soul, shine your guiding light upon our loved ones. Hold them in your embrace among the stars, and remind us that even in darkness, they shine.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I absolutely love that quote. It's honestly one of my favorites.
Mm-hmm.
I still feel that in the heart.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Still working through some of the emotion from that life, because we went through such a huge, like roller coaster, really.
Right.
It was huge highs, and huge lows, and it was a beautiful lifetime, though.
Yeah, it was. I'm just going to finish with the response,
Yeah,
right?
please.
So that was the
Please
prayer.
do.
Yes.
And then one of the sisters stepped forward, her voice resonating like the harmonious notes of a song. Fear not, for your loved ones are safe within our care. Their light endures, woven into the fabric of the universe, and they shall always be with you. Honor their legacy with open hearts, for love transcends all. That one still gets me.
So
Like,
perfect. Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel it.
Yeah. I'm feeling it.
I'm actually just pulling up the screenshot I have of the quote. I just want to put it up on the screen so that way Leah or anybody watching now or on the rewatch, if you want to, screenshot it for yourself, just to have to refer to. Give me 1 second here.
gives us a moment to just like,
Yeah. What's the energy?
Just kind of coming.
Mm-hmm.
There we go.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, actually, here, let's take a moment and just kind of, you can reread the quote if you like, but let's just sit and remember those that we've lost in this lifetime or that lifetime. I'm actually going to probably end up channeling some light language here because they're pushing me to do so. So if everybody's okay with that.
Yes,
And Tanys,
go
if you
ahead.
feel so compelled to, feel free to join or respond.
Mm-hmm.
Atana ine sanakemiya ya nani sananikine mania. Ania sanika manina sania kaninia mania sanima kaina ninia. Onoia nia hinai. Onoi.
Yentakata ya tutukureya. O neatsi kitidaraya taketa tukudore kimenanayati. Itzi tadarayatsi yamana. O nia aya. E andati aya takatori ki kampatatori timiti. Iteskia to oni aya tuturiki. Intikita ya turi titarana ya tukuturi ki kamanana ya babara ya tututuku. Iskatat kutkuri ki anananiati. Isata tutria eteteria tata. Untitiriya tatsinani ya tatakatari kutununiati. Intikitarayati. Iantati. Intikitiaraya.
So Barbara says she's crying. I'm glad that you're allowing yourself to have that emotion. And then Leah said, thank you. I will keep this beautiful message. And you don't know how much this helps me. Thank you, sisters. You're very welcome. And lots of hugs. I'm glad we were able to do this for you tonight, Leah. I think, we all came together for, I always say, we come together for a reason, and,
This is a good reason.
Yes, exactly. You got it. Leah did ask a question up above just about if there was any insights as far as like star information that comes through. I know you all are, of course, intuitive. So if you do get anything, she had just asked that briefly, but she was in her 40s. Yeah. I lost a friend at that age as well. Yeah, it's tough.
It's tough.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and we also have Tina Bobina. She says, can finally chat. Hi, all. Thoughts with you, Leah, and your family with the sudden loss. Yeah. Oops, you're muted.
You're on mute, Jen.
I also just put in the chat. I don't know. I don't see the chat. So
here.
I don't know what the
I'm copying it. Give me 1 second here.
Yeah.
There we go.
Because I think that's important. That's reassurance.
So this was the response, right? That I'm pasting in here. It was the response to that quote or that initial.
Yeah. So that was the prayer that we all said for the ceremony. And then this was the reply.
I think part of the reason why it hits the four of us a lot and the audience is because we're not only just Pleiadians. We've had experiences as refugees from Lyra.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of the experiences that we had in the past still really, we carry all of them. And we are still working through them, even though in Earth years, they might have been millions of years ago.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, to the people who are watching right now, who feels emotional or feel drawn to this, yeah, there might be a reason why. So you might want to explore it further.
Yes.
I invite you to explore it further.
Yeah. This lifetime has been very important, I think, for all of us. But all of our ET experiences are just as important as the ones we have here. We just don't remember them because it's different, like a different framework, a different way of living. And so it's harder, I think, when we first start into this stuff to understand that, their way of life was really different. So if you haven't been able to get into the Akashic in the same way, it's because, it's so different from here. It's very love-based. Like we don't have the density of emotion here. I mean, we had emotions, but it was not the same. Like it was like much softer way of being for most of our other.
I was going to say, I mean,
Not
I was
all,
devastated in the book, and that devastation comes through. But I think to what you're saying is we had a deeper understanding of the eternalness of our being. Things were not as temporal feeling as they are here. And I think that's what you're speaking to, that made it feel manageable. Like we could navigate the difficult things because we knew that it was not over.
And the sense of connection with all of the community, the galactic communities, particularly like within our communities in the Pleiades and, Lyra, Andromeda, Taurus, that we were all very close in terms of community. And so that sense was, you didn't feel the separation we do here. And I think that made a huge difference too in how we experienced the emotions that we experienced. You know, it wasn't like I think I certainly missed my parents, you know, when they were gone. It wasn't that you didn't have that emotion, but I think the sense of abandonment that we might feel here with that kind of experience was very different than the sense of like the community support that we had there helped to ease that. It was like a balm on the emotion.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, and I do, like, I talk about this a little bit, but not in detail in the book, more in the glossary part where I talk about all of the different roles and things that people had. But, you know, at that point in time, other than the war, generally speaking, like, people went through different phases of their life and then decided when they were ready to return to the stars. And so the ceremonies were very different, generally speaking, because there was choice of, okay, I'm ready to return to the oneness and to see what's next for my journey, my adventure, right? Whereas the war, like, took people from us, which we weren't generally used to. That wasn't the way that it normally was. But even still, because of our understanding of the cycle of what it is to come into form and then leave form, it was easier in that way.
I mean, it just does, I think, for my own thing, now that I'm aware of how things are, you know, I used to be very afraid of death. You know, you didn't know what it was. And now I'm like, yeah, okay. It happens. It's part of life, you know. And it's not as devastating if you have a change in framework. So it's kind of like that here, only it's magnified, I would say, because the understanding is so much deeper there. You know, we could still hold our fear and doubts here. Whereas there, we just knew. That was just how it was. So.
So we had Moira pop on there while we were chatting.
Hi,
Moira.
Welcome.
And Leah was saying, I'm still traumatized and keep learning more. It helps to explain stuff that lingers and haunts us. And I think we've really found that with the shared lifetime, that, as you said, it's so prevalent that it's like, oh, that kind of makes sense. Like where Diane was saying, like, she saw you as a high priestess, and then me later on in the same role. Well, in this lifetime, Tanys is a high priestess, and I learned my high priestess skills and training from her. So
we had the same contract. We just delayed it. We went, okay, we'll do that again. Sure.
Yeah, that was fun.
It worked the first time.
It worked the first time. Yeah.
It's amazing, the parallels.
Yeah,
it really is.
Time compared to that one, it's absolutely wild. I know we talked about it a little bit on a Galactic Gab before, but you know, in that lifetime, my world was destroyed, and I went to live with Tanys. And in this lifetime, my world hasn't been destroyed, but I did immigrate, and now I live where Tanys lives.
Yeah.
Right. Another wonderful person in the book who shared about their experience, right, lived in the outskirts and was kind of hidden away, and now lives in Hawaii off on their own. Right. And it's just a really interesting thing to see those kinds of parallels. And then, of course, just kind of with everything that's happening and, you know, our preparation for potential contact and just things that are breaking down in the world and how, you know, we navigate that. I think all of, you know, that previous lifetime and lifetimes around it, right? Like the lifetimes prior to, you know, Mintaka was first, I want to say destroyed, but not destroyed, because it was just
ravaged.
Ravaged is a good word.
Yeah.
You know, because it was a test planet for the Draconians when they first started to create some of their weaponry. And that's why Mintaka, we think of it as 1 star, but it's actually 5. It's 5 stars because it got destroyed. It got blasted into pieces at that time. And I think that, so many of the souls that lived through that experience are living through destruction and things like that in this lifetime, and learning how to navigate and how to, find their foundation again as they move forward. And with all of us, it's, there's a healing that's continuing to happen. And by being able to bring those energies forward, one of the things that I came to understand was, and I mentioned this with writing the book, I think the first read through, I had grief or something like that in there, like 172 times. That was a bit excessive, right? And so there was this healing process that was happening as we went through it. And knowing that I had gone through my healing in that lifetime, but I still had healing to do in this one. And the way that it paralleled and how it actually helped me to heal from things in this lifetime, going through that healing in order to bring that energy forward. And I think that's the case for all of us, is we're getting an opportunity to heal things in this lifetime and then bring that energy forward so that we can continue to move those that we touch in that direction of healing.
The only reason I was laughing there is because Jen and I had a running joke that it should turn it into a drinking game.
Well, hey, I did good. I think I got it down to like 3 or 4 times in the whole book. I think I did an okay job of like,
We should have prepared something here. You didn't tell us about the drinking game.
Well, it wouldn't work now.
No, because she doesn't have as many griefs in there.
Next time.
We'll see how it goes on Tanys' first draft.
Ooh, there you go.
Yeah. When we first started remembering this, we spent a couple of times on Zoom. Like, we'd start talking about it. We'd both sit there and cry with our different memories and stuff coming up. I have met my father in this life. From that life. And that was incredible healing for me. It was water, maybe, at the moment.
There you go. It's like coffee or water.
Yeah. Yes, it was quite an incredible moment. We had him on the show, and we ended up, it just came through after the show, and he knew as well, which was nice. And as soon as we sort of said it to each other, I just burst into tears. But it was really, really, like, I spent a couple of days just kind of processing all of that, because it was just so healing. Because in that lifetime, we think that, we didn't know, I think, what happened. We knew they went to the stars, but then, like, it was a different process. At least for me, this was my experience. I was like, because they were taken away from us, that it wasn't the same process. So what happens then? Is it different? Mm-hmm. Do they still go on? So it was almost like this huge release or relief that came over me when I realized that this was my dad, because I was like, okay, yeah, good. Yep. It was like a full circle, a cycle. And
reassurance that he did go on and came back.
Exactly. Yeah. It was lovely. So those are the kind of things, and it's helped with my own personal parental stuff as well, right? So
well, and I think that's been amazing. Like, I can even say too, like, the most recent kind of stuff that's been coming up around, like, mother stuff, having that past life and the energies in that past life and the support in that past life has helped me in this one. So it's been really interesting again to have, as you say, have like those energies coming forward when they're meant to. Because I have had people say, like, oh, should I explore past lives, or like, how do you go about doing it? And it's like, I've never gone looking for this stuff. It has always just come when it's meant to. And I think that's the best way to go about it, honestly. It'll come, when you're meant to.
Well, I know when Jen and I first met again, I was going to say got to know each other again, but met again. We started doing, we realized there were some past lives, and I had asked Jen, because I was just starting to get memories back of different ones. So I'd asked Jen to do some past life regression stuff with me. And as we were doing it, I would be describing it and she would be seeing it from her perspective at the time.
Mm-hmm.
And so we started to realize how many past lives we actually had together. Mm-hmm. So I don't remember very many without her. She's always been there somewhere.
Yeah, it's pretty wild. There's very few that, and even then it's like, okay, maybe this memory doesn't have, Tanys in it specifically, but that doesn't mean that you weren't in that lifetime somewhere.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? I have like snippets of some and then a lot more of others.
Yeah, me too.
But if any of them that I have any substance to, she's there.
Yeah. Actually, I've had a couple of questions in regards to like past lives and stuff. So Leah was saying, does she have a past life with anyone on the panel? I don't know. What is it? What do any of us, I know you see us on YouTube all the time, but the big thing for me has been like, do you almost feel like you've only known the person for a day, but it feels like you've known them for forever? It's that kind of feeling.
Like our first date at IKEA, Jen.
Yes.
You want to tell that story?
Well, yeah, it's yeah. Well, and this is we'll do the IKEA story in a minute, but and again, know your limits, spend responsibly, but like if the people who've read the book have said, oh, it awoke this memory, or it helped me to remember this lifetime or this experience or things like that. And I think people find themselves, really connected to certain energies and things like that in it. But, if you have a Lyran memory and you remember the destruction of the different planets in Lyra, you were there at that time. And whether or not you ended up on the Pleiades with Tanys and I or somewhere else, like everybody in that lifetime, I talk about in the book, I talk about a time where there was, hundreds of us who went through the star immersion, and that happened in order for us to, it was an induction into like a massive download, giving us all of the things that we should have gotten over the course of our youth, which is like 100+ years in human time, right? That came in so quickly that it really, like, it took us all out, and we were all over. Like, this wasn't, in the book, like I talk about, Tanys and I's experience, but I also share that this was like hundreds of us from all different races and all different places, because, the universe knew that this was happening, that there was going to be mass destruction, and we needed to have all of that knowledge to be able to move forward, knowing that our parents weren't going to make it, those that were, high priestesses and priests in the temples and all of that, not all of them were going to make it. And so we ended up in the diaspora. I talk about how we were scattered. We went all over the universe and brought all of that wisdom that came in everywhere. So maybe you were with us, maybe you weren't, but you were with us in those experiences, if you're remembering them, because it was such an important piece. And those I find who have this very visceral memory of that and of leaving and the devastation that was there, you guys were there. You were there in that lifetime.
Well, and I want to make mention too, and you've mentioned it before when we've talked about this, but there's also alternate timelines.
Yeah.
So if you read the book and you're like, that's not how I remember it, it's very possible.
It's possible.
Yeah.
I want to answer Leah's question
Yeah.
a bit more
Mhm.
directly. If
Which one
she
was
has
it?
had Leah's question,
yeah.
if she has had any past lifetimes with
Here.
the four
This
of us.
Yeah.
I'm not getting that there was any Leah with the four of us, because I believe you three were around in the Avalon area. Leah and I were in Vega, but actually in
Mm.
different periods, either in different periods or different timelines. That's what I saw in the records. So we didn't have like a past lifetime together, but I believe that you're drawn to this conversation, Leah, because you have your own experiences where you resonate with our experiences, that you were part of this experience of destruction of this war. That's why you're drawn. So you didn't have to have like a past lifetime with us to be able to relate. You were drawn to the topic because of a reason, because of your own experiences. So I hope that helps, Leah.
Well, and Leah had this question too, so I don't know what your thoughts are on that. So she said, sometimes I get mad. It was a typo. So sometimes I get mad that we were tinkered with, like here, I guess our lifetime here on Earth. And that we are an experiment in dense duality.
Yeah, we also did choose to come here.
We did.
Yeah. What were we thinking?
What were we thinking?
Well, I know with Diane's galactic reading for me, it was like, you're on this planet, massive change. This planet, massive change. And then one of the comments on my video afterwards was, I'm scared that you're on this planet right now. I'm like, me too.
Yeah, but I think it's a beautiful change that we're going through this time.
Yes.
I mean, it's going to be, any change comes with its turbulence,
Yes.
but
Yeah.
Oh, and Barbara just mentioned here, she said, I watched Meldek explode.
That's another one.
Yeah.
That's very heavy. Maldek.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, in the time of the book, we actually called Meldek Rylan. And I tell a story about when we went to Meldek after the destruction, in the rebuild, and just the devastation that was there. So yeah, that was another really horrific time.
Well, and I guess all of the witnessing of all of that, I think is why there's so many of us that are so, I don't say, I guess, against, but like all this fighting and stuff that's happening on Earth right now, we're like, why is this happening again? Like, don't you guys remember? Don't you guys see? Like,
yeah, they don't remember. That's the problem.
no.
Yeah, it gets frustrating
Yeah.
because it keeps on repeating.
Yeah, we got to get rid of all that forgetfulness around who we truly are.
I was gonna say, they talk about my mind just blanked on the word. Give me a sec. Like ET's coming down, like
Disclosure.
thank you. Gone. But I wonder
First
if disclosure is not just good. Like disclosure, they talk about, we think, oh, we're just going to see them in 3D, blah, blah, blah. Could disclosure just not be like everybody remembering?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It could also be all of a sudden we see all the different dimensions
That would be nice.
where they already are here.
That's hard. Let's just be real. When you're walking in multiple dimensions, it's hard.
It is.
It'll be
It
nice
is.
when it
Oh.
Well, I think it would just be like a widening of it. So you end up seeing more things that are around. Anyway, I don't know. That's a theory on my part.
Leia says that they appreciate us.
You'll
We appreciate you. Thank you for being here.
Yeah. Yeah, but I think it's important, Kaylee, what you were sharing about the different timelines and things like that, because it's true. I mean, there are so many individuated energies that the universe has chosen to experience itself with, that there's no way we could all do it in one timeline. or one reality.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
You know, and there's definitely ones where, you know, it resonates, and then there's others who go, well, that's not exactly how I remember it, and that's totally fine. And I have other lifetimes like that too.
Yeah,
you know, we
me
talk
too.
about, you know, different qualities or energies or archetypal energies, if you will, that, you know, we embody. And it's like, okay, yeah, I remember this lifetime, so I'm embodying that energy, but somebody else might also embody that same energy, just in a different
Right.
way, as it was in a different timeline or reality.
Yeah. Diane, I feel like you have something that's coming through that you want to share.
I'm just trying to absorb everything.
Well, I'm curious because you do Akashic readings for people. I'm wondering if you've ever encountered similar energies in different people that were in different timelines, but the same.
Yeah, they have like
experience.
different experiences. I mean, like similar experiences. Like, I don't know if you've heard of how many Mary Magdalenes there were.
Mm-hmm.
Who stepped forward? Like, I was Mary Magdalene, but there were like 10 of them. And
There's
it's
more than
okay
that.
because
More than that.
maybe more than that probably. I think it's similar in the sense that we've had so many similar experiences that we start to think like, oh, I was this person. And I think that's okay. If you've had that experience, yeah, that's your truth. That's okay.
Yeah. Well, and that's one that, you know, different timelines have very different realities of what that was.
Yes.
And then we, you know, fight about history, and it's like, well,
which history? That timeline or that timeline or that? Yeah. Which one are you from?
mm-hmm.
Did you turn left or did you turn right?
Exactly.
Which, you know, and we only have one that was written as our history.
Yeah.
Right? But that's not true. There's a lot of them.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like the viewers of this video are gonna have their mind blown.
After this video, make sure you sit, ground.
Yes.
Yeah.
Have some water, hydrate, and process. And if you have any questions or comments after, you know, please comment on the video because it helps me and the others out. And go follow them too, because they all have their channels. As I said, link down below. Can you believe, though, that it's almost been an hour?
Wow.
It really does.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It really does. Yeah.
I like that. She's like, everything everywhere all at once.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I love that video. I love that movie.
I haven't seen it yet.
It's a bit wild, but it's true. You know, like it really is. And, you know, I don't think that we understand just how, I mean, obviously, you know, we don't all have like hot dog fingers and some of the other things that maybe were in there, but who knows, in one reality, maybe we do.
Yeah. Yeah, it's amazing what movies, we were talking about this actually today.
Yes.
We'll talk
about
movies and books and all of that, you know.
That more is coming forward and out in the open. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and it's not all just some made up something or other that, you know, people have these ideas for a reason and they're tapping into something. And generally it's a memory or an experience or.
Dan actually had a really good show on what was it? May the 4th, right?
May the 4th,
you did one of Star Wars. Yeah.
Nice.
How Star Wars is a lot similar to the Orion Wars.
Yes.
The events that happened there. And there are a lot more movies that are kind of parallel to what happened, like Avatar. Avatar,
Oh my gosh.
I'm reminded of Lyra a lot. Especially Vega.
Yeah.
I cried. We had kind of an emotional experience during that one, especially the second or the third one there, Fire.
Oh, yes.
Oh,
yeah. But I think all of them,
goodness.
there was just so much. Yeah, he definitely has had other lifetimes to be able to
Mhm.
bring all of that forward.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. Yes. Oh, that I still feel that one. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's one I'm
Well,
still
lady,
working on.
thank you so much for coming on. This has
Thank
been
you.
an amazing chat. I'm glad I was able to bring you all together.
Thank you for having
I'm
us.
so excited to be
Yes.
able to actually meet Diane
Exactly.
as in person as I'm going to be.
Yeah.
Yeah, me too. Because we usually
Well,
just chat. Or
Yeah.
Yeah.
well,
Yeah.
I think we're all planning on meeting up at the healing pools later. So
Okay.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
yeah.
Cool.
Y'all are welcome to join us.
Yes,
Yes.
yes.
Exactly.
Just set that intention before you go to bed tonight,
Yep.
or have a nap, and we'll see you all there.
See you
I
in the
hope you
healing
guys.
pools.
Yes. Hope you all have a great evening and a great week. And we'll see you next time. Bye, everybody.